Hello everyone, good morning. So today we are going to be discussing about the Volatility 25 index, one of the best pairs I like to trade, and that's majorly because it does move in a proper order. So first thing, we try to identify the trend. Now, I understand some persons who want to draw their trend line something like this. Yes, based on the current market, that is acceptable. But then, this was the original trend line we had coming from this bottom, aligning with this place, and we got a break. So the only thing we could ideally look out for now is we also have this trend line from this bottom down to this current price. So it's easier for us to understand that this price is giving us a double bottom here, and the final TP should be around here. So what we can only say you can do is to look for an entry. So we had price respect this area, which is our mitigation area, and then there's this other block here, which is the next mitigation, but also another block. So this area is something I would say is an area of interest for the next trade, possibly for a sell, depending on how price reacts from here. But then, since that's the case, what we have to do at the moment is understand where to enter for a buy from here to this point. And that is almost pretty simple. But let's get down to the smaller time frame to be able to pick the exact point. I'll be marking out this zone, which you could consider as your double bottom. Some persons will call it different things. So whichever you are able to understand it as is fine. So we drag it down to this point. Okay, this is fine. So now even during this using this after marking this other block, we had a push to the upside, and you can see price clearly came into this zone, respected it, and continued. Now we easily would want to plot our trend line. So our trend line connects from this high down to this point here. So this is it, and we can go back to the line graph. So now what we have here is we have price currently creating new levels to the upside. Let's make it bold. Okay, very good. So now what can we see? The new thing we can see here is we can see price breaking new levels to the upside. Now since we are looking for a kind of a retrace to the upside and all of that, at least to this point, one thing I can easily say we can mark is marking out these flaws. So I'm not too interested in marking the lower levels. I prefer to mark the higher ones. That's which are these major breaks. So we have also this area here, and we have this area. So most times when marking out my levels, I mostly prefer marking out my levels to catch sells, but this is a situation whereby we have to mark our level to catch buys. So we have this wave. These are the major trend line. This one and the other one, I'll be moving them because we've understood what we want to understand from them, or with those trend lines. So now let's go to the 1 hour time frame. Now on the 1 hour time frame, price is looking pretty simple, or not really simple, but pretty direct. I would say direct. I'll use that word direct. Direct in the sense that market has given us what we need to know, and in order to be able to ride on with the market, we need to implement what market has given us to be able to understand what we are going to be doing in the market. Now, there's a very wonderful trade coming up, and that's why I smiled. Um, we'll look at this area first of all. So I would be using I would change the color of this to, let's say, purple. No, I want something a little bit bright and also dim at the same time. So let's say I will use this color, and I'll make my line a little bit thick, and then I'll clone it multiple times. So cloning multiple times just for the different levels we are going to be inputting it on. So now we had this level here. If you can look at it well, let me try to make it a little bit wider. Yeah, so I believe this you would like the fact I did this. So making it a little bit wider, we had a break of structure to the upside, and we also had a base, something like we consider a base. So in alignment with this both, all you do is you can decide to mark out your other block here. Now I'm marking just this last red candlestick, but now I don't want to mark the last red candlestick just to this point. So I want to add the lowest point price got to at this particular area. Now, there are different methods you can use to enter. The moment price taps this line, you begin to look for a bullish engulfing a bullish candlestick for your entry. Now this is on 1 hour time frame. You can refine it to the 5 minutes time frame to pick the exact point you'll be taking your buy from. So the moment price retraces and taps into this your line, you are looking for your entry. Now this is this. Now let's go to the next one. Again, we saw a break of structure here. So again, we saw a break of structure here, and we also saw our other block here in alignment to the break of structure. So we saw it here, and then this is it. So what can you also see? You can see that we had price rally to the upside, which is also okay, and it dropped massively to the downside, which is to our other block canal zone, and then you're able to take the trade. Now if you are taking this trade earlier on, maybe at the end of this bullish candlestick confirmation, you would have been stopped out first of all, and then if you are taking a re-entry, you would actually be in profit. But for the first trade, you can see price would hit our stop loss, so it's very clear on that. And also market moved into TP, which is fine, and that's cool. Now in order to get a re-entry, there was a re-entry here. If you had missed this particular one, we had price break up to the upside, come back, respect another block here also on smaller time frame, and also respect this zone before rallying to the upside, which is this TP. I always say something: whenever you're taking trades like this, always TP at the next zone. Don't even hold for a really long move. Just TP at the next zone and you'll be fine. You'll really be fine. So that's that for this one. If I just want to be more curious, I'll tell you guys that I took one trade here. There was a trade I took here because I understood the same formula played out, which was a break and retest. And then I told you guys there's another block here which you would have used for your entry. There's also one here which you would have used for your entry. You can use this whole level. So that is for this whole move. Now we can see we have a bigger push to the upside. Now what are the levels we are looking out for? This level is a level for our break of structure. We can say that the big break of structure, anyhow you want to say it. So this is a level which gave us a break of structure, and this is another level. So there are two things that could happen. We could wait for price to get into this low, but then that will almost be so far from where price would want to get. And then we make use of this other block here. Now remember, I always tell you that you have to adjust it to the lowest wick. So that is this. So this is one place price would expect price to get to, and then this is another place we would expect price to get to. You understand? So this is another place we would expect price to get to, but because this is a very clear market price, we could either use this other block, which is the last one here. Why? The reason because it aligns with our line of sensitivity, which is the low. So we could use this other block here, and we wait for price to do all its rally to the upside and drop back down. We begin to look for opportunity here and another opportunity here. So this would be a more stiffer, a more preferable opportunity. This would be a light opportunity. Now let's go to the 15 minutes time frame and let's see what we have there on the 15 minutes time frame. Okay, so on the 15 minutes time frame, I can see something here, but I would not want to use this until it's time for price to react. You get, I won't want to use that until it's time for price to react. So let's just wait for price to drop, and then we'll decide where we'll be taking our entries from. But I am very sure this is where price would get to react from and maybe continue its move to the upside using this zone, which is this other block. Using this other block. So this is where I would really want to see price react from. If it reacts from this point, it's going to do that with like almost very little drawdown. If it reacts from here, we'll be getting very little or no drawdown, and price would rally to the upside. So I think this is what we have for volatility 25, and let's see how price reacts. That'll be all for now, guys, and you can make use of this information in whichever way you'd like to, and I believe you should be profitable from it on your next trade. Now, taking a trade from here, there are two things. If you are able to catch a trade from here, you should be targeting this point. So any of these zones you're able to get a trade from, your target would be to, okay, let's use this. So your target would be to run your trade into this level. So your target would be to run your trade into this level. Okay, so your target would be to run your trade into this level, and let's see how it plays out. Do have a wonderful day, guys, and peace, one love.